Okay, hey everybody. Let's get doing the thing. Folks, on the recording, I was just saying. I don't have to move this so it won't be as great. I was just saying I don't really have a specific prompt usage planned for today, but of course, whatever you need in your practice. I like to set up on something. I'm April. This is yoga, and I think those are the key points here. I have more things to say. I've honestly been struggling with a lot of loss over the last week, losing some friends, losing their lives, and some relationships not work out the way that you want them to. And I'm bad at processing things. I feel like I'm not very emotionally developed, or at least not as much as I would like to be. And one of the things that I do to try to process things is to get really mobile, to get my body moving, and hopefully like my heart follows. That doesn't always work. I know people who need to be very still to be with that stuff. And what actually worked for me was going to the Rivers of Nile show on Saturday night, where I was just like overwhelmed by all of the people and the intensity of the music, and there was like something in that was able to kind of like open me up a bit. So it was very cathartic, very beautiful. So in our practice today, we're going to kind of move through different approaches to the same, like a couple little sets of movements and a couple little sets of ideas. We'll do things maybe a little bit faster. Some things we'll do some kind of like long holds. Some things will be very relaxed. Some things might be kind of strong, but because hopefully this is the process, right, of you getting to know you so well, you do not have to do exactly what I do for as long as I do it, or as intense as I do it, or as intense as you see anybody else on the screen doing it. So you do you the whole time, but maybe there's something in here that could be challenging and could be useful, because we have all of those stages of grief, and it ends at acceptance. And I say ends because I don't know about you, but I often kind of pop out of that acceptance, even if I do find it at some points. It's a non-linear path. But acceptance is a lot, and especially in this instance, it's a lot like surrender. In Sanskrit, we say Ishvara Prandahana. It's the surrender to that which is greater than us. And it's not necessarily always greater, like, yay, it's great. It's more great, like, it's just bigger, bigger and more powerful. But surrender is not like, Jesus, take the wheel, all right, bye, I'm just gonna be over here, you guys do your like feelings and like handling my life sort of thing. Surrender is saying, it's this way now. It is coming to acceptance of where we are and the hand that we've been dealt and the pain or the joy that we find ourselves in. It's really being with what is. It's not checking out. Surrender is not, oh well, fuck it. Surrender is, well, fuck, here I am. So here we are. It's going to be much more fun than my grief process, although hopefully about as fun as going to a concert. Hey, Victoria Marco, I'm going to pop the playlist down here for you because I got a new one for June and I didn't put it up anywhere else. So.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So that is sort of thing there. Yeah, and then like I was just saying to folks, I don't really have a specific prop usage plan today, so grab whatever you need. Let's start with our face brushing. So index finger and thumb together. You'll start at the center of your forehead and brush outwards towards your temples a few times. And then going from the sides of your nose out to your temples, along your cheekbones. From your temples down to your chin, on your jawline. And the sides of your nose down to your chin along your laugh lines. And massaging underneath and behind your ears, feeling for the soft spots back there. Lifting up from the bony spots right behind your ears. And a little bit more space come in between your vertebrae, gently expanding that, and then when you're ready, resting your hands down into your lap. Just taking a few deep breaths. Noticing your body, practicing awareness, and also accepting surrender to the current state that it is. And it could change over the course of our time here together. So not clinging to it, but saying, all right, well, today my foot feels funky. Today my energy is high. Today, whatever it is. Doing it without judgment, not as a means of writing it off, checking out, but as a tool to tune in deeper. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Again, like that. For 3 ohms. Open your eyes, take your hands, interlace your fingers, and start making some figure eights around your wrists. And then wrap your fingers up the other way. Make some, oh my gosh, this is almost as bad as trying to do the figure eight in the wrong direction. But let's still do the figure eight in the wrong direction because why not? Doesn't hurt. And then take your thumbs in front of your fingers, creating a barrier, and you're going to burst right through that barrier a few times, continuing to warm up your fingers and your forearms, because we're going to get right into it. We're going to hold a down dog, and here's the thing. You are on your own to hold this down dog. Like, I will eventually stop it. You will not be there all hour. I won't let that happen, but when you're done with your down dog, just come into child's pose. If you want to take a little break and go back to down dog, like you're like, a little bit break might fix me and I can do more down dog, that's totally fine. And like I said, your body, your choice. But maybe like, you can challenge yourself to say like, maybe I can stay a little bit longer, or maybe a tiny little break is going to give me some space. And you might do a dolphin if you don't want to be on your hands. But this is going to be a little bit of the, well, here I am, and here's what's happening. So index fingers point forward, give that good pressure of your heart down into your hands. Go ahead and curl your toes under and come into a down dog. And especially as you begin, you might have to have some movement here. Like you may not all of a sudden arrive in like just the right lineup of your down dog. So if you gotta, shift and wiggle your tail and adjust some things. And here's the thing with down dog. You can just kind of hang out in down dog after you've been doing it for a while and your body has that like mobility and a little bit of strength, but it's no good for you to just sink into your joints, because that's the, oh well, fuck it, Jesus, take the wheel, and we're not playing that game today. I mean, you can, but I don't advise it. I'm gonna tell you what to do, but I'll make some suggestions, like really use that upper body.
So you want to feel like the back of your heart is open. You might even be actively trying to lengthen the backs of your legs, dropping the outsides of your calves down and picking the insides of your thighs up. This is a long hold. Try not to hold on to your neck. That's not a part where you need to be putting a lot of energy into. When you want to come out and come to child's pose, you come out and come to child's pose. This is not a contest. Maybe you can give a little extra oomph into lifting those hips up. Remembering, like I said, you can always come back to it. I'm going to stay for a couple more breaths. I'm going to go into child's pose, and if you're feeling like you want some more down dog, you can do that. Alright, I think that's about it for my wrists, but if you want to hang out down dog for a little bit longer, feel free to do so. You put your arms wherever they're comfortable and supportive to you in your child's pose. And then if you haven't already made it to child's pose, start to wander your way down there. Give a little slide side to side in your hips, and then take your hands over towards one side of your mat and give yourself a little side stretch. Relax your head down onto your arms. Go to the other side. Hands go over, stack, stretch through the side body, relax your head. Back to the center, and then lift your head up. You're going to go ahead and lay yourself all the way down onto your belly. Wiggle your legs back a little bit. Take your hands back behind you and like kind of tent your fingers so your wrists are up. It's like you've got like T-Rex claws into the floor. So your palms are facing down, your thumbs face away from your body. And what that's doing is already bringing you to a point where it's going to kind of lift your arm bones up. It helps your heart be a little bit more open. Keep the clawing of your fingers on the floor and lift up a little bit. And then notice like what happened when you lifted up in your chest. Did your arm bones go forward? Did your collarbones get short? Did you keep the back of your neck long? Did you go, oh fuck, I hate this thing? So just what happened? What's going on here? And what can I do about it? How can I adapt it? Not powerless. How can you get a little bit, maybe a little bit more lifted, like you spent a little time here. Got a little bit more space. And then you're going to take your hands, go ahead and lift them up. Maybe that gets you up a little bit higher. And if you want to put legs into any of this, you are welcome to do so. But I'm going to just go ahead relaxing legs down on the ground. And as you exhale, go ahead and lower down. You might rest a cheek or a chin and kind of wiggle your pelvis around a little bit side to side. And then we're going to take a couple of up and down locust poses or upper body locust poses, just kind of moving with the breath. I'm going to go a slightly faster breath here. You can go slower. So we'll take an inhale, lift up, and exhale lower. And inhale, lift up, and exhale lower. You just go to your own range of motion. Inhale up, exhale lower. Try to keep the heart open. Inhale up, exhale lower. Couple more. Inhale up and down and up and up and down. One more time, knowing that it's the last time. Maybe it's a little different. And then lower on down. Bring your hands in underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up and back to puppy dog pose. So let your tailbone roll up, let your head, your heart melt down, hinging at the hips, kind of relaxing the spine, a little bit different of a back bend. So let your heart melt down. We're going to do another down dog, but this one, 3 breaths. there's an absolute limit on it, unless of course you just want to hang out there the rest of the day. It's on you. So we'll go down dog here. Go ahead and press your hips up. It's probably gonna feel a little different. Maybe a little bit stronger after the warm up. Maybe a little bit tireder because you were already here for so long. One more breath out. And then bring your feet forward. Find a fold at the front of your mat. Go ahead and relax the back of your neck. Maybe wiggle the head around a little bit. And then just for giggles, like how slow could you roll up to standing? You don't want to go so slow that you hurt yourself because you're lacking momentum and lifting up, but can you really commit to exploring every vertebrae as you lift yourself up? Yeah, and then once again, I am entirely too close to this thing. One of these days, I'll have like things taped off and marked and stuff, but that day will probably come after I have figured out how to work the sound. So let's get our mountain pose. So just standing stacked, palms facing forward, toes facing forward, feet about hip width apart, and then do a quick little visual check. Oh yes, indeed, hip width apart, toes facing forward. Great. And then if it feels comfy, close your eyes. If it doesn't feel comfortable to close your eyes, just find something in front of you that's not moving, that's not super zany and wild. If there's a disco ball in front of you, that's not the thing to look at. Let your eyes soften. Just the arrangement of your bones, of your limbs, how you're standing. And then lift your arms up, and you're gonna hold the arms up. Hold yourself up tall here for about 5 breaths. Nice and long through the body. See if maybe over time you can get a little bit longer. Still lifting up that space behind your ears, lifting up from the outsides of the arms. One more breath in. And then fold on down. As you fold down, bend your knees as much as you hold yourself wherever it's supported to you. Try to relax your head. You're here for about 5 breaths. You've already had a couple. Maybe something softens a little bit more when you spend a little bit more time here. And then take fingertips to your shins and lift your chest up and forward. I'll stay here for 5 breaths. I want to try to get your heart in front of your arm bones. Try to lift those arm bones up and back. Engage the belly. Lots of space between the backs of the ears and the tailbone. One more breath in. And then fold it down. Let yourself soften. Hold your body, or if the floor's comfy, grab the floor. But if you want to hold your body to keep that soft and relaxed in your spine and your hips, do that. Try to relax that head. One more exhale. Stand all the way up. Get your arms up there. Lift up long, reaching into both your feet and your hands. Try to use that outer shoulder space to lift your arms up. Your arms don't have to be right next to each other. They could be out wider. One more breath in. And let your hands come down. Drop them by your sides, palms facing forward, maybe closing your eyes, just feeling where the weight is in your feet and how this mountain feels a little different than the last mountain. Tadasana. One more exhale. And then start to open your eyes. You're going to take your legs out really, really wide on your mat. Toes facing pretty much forward. Go ahead and come down into a fold. Just let your hands come wherever it's comfy to you. Try to relax the back of your neck. Play around with some of the weight in your feet, maybe a little bit more into the toes feels better, maybe more into the heels. You can test those things out. If there's any like fancy business you want to attend to, like shifting the hips or giving some twists or moving to one leg or to the other leg, or any of your own fancy business, you are welcome to attend to. And then start to lengthen your arms. If you had them bent down, you're going to adjust your feet so your heels come in, your toes face out. You might have to make your stance a little narrower once you get up here. We're going to go old softball guy pose. Take your hands up onto the insides of your thighs. Go ahead and press them out. Feel your hips dropping back. Awesome. One more exhale. And stand yourself up, and you're going to turn your toes all the way over towards your right side so that you can come into a warrior two. From this warrior two, see if you can pull your hips a little bit more towards that right leg, and then maybe that also helps that the right leg doesn't want to toss inwards. And then lift the heart up to your right hand, peaceful warrior. Think of that lifting, that lengthening. Kind of visiting some shapes, moving gently, and then taking your elbow down onto your knee, reaching this top arm up and over your nose, maybe pushing a little bit more into that back foot. One more exhale. And lift yourself up, straighten the front leg. Take your right arm up, lift your heart up to that right hand, so you're lifting up and out of that lower back. One more breath in. And moving forward in triangle pose. Here for a good time, not a long time, so make sure and get that hip shift in right away. Kind of relaxing this top one forward, lengthen your lower back. One more exhale. Start to lift yourself up. You're just going to switch right to the other side. So turning the feet all the way over, bend into your left leg. Do a little bit of extra shift of the hips, but try to keep the chest open this way. Just a little extra something to maybe keep that knee in line. Drop your arm bones out of your ear holes. And then as you inhale, lift your heart up to that left hand, so you're lengthening out through your lower back. One more breath in. Coming forward with your elbows, side angle, just a nice long stretch through your right side. Arm bones slightly forward, not pulled back and squeezing your spine. One more exhale. Then you lift up and you straighten the front leg. Send your heart right up to that left hand, reaching it up to the sky, reaching long through your spine up towards the sky. One more breath in. Shifting the hips back, coming in a triangle pose. Relax this top hip, pull your ears away from your tailbone, open that top shoulder, gorgeous. I should have even just looked because you were doing it before I said it. Just said all the things and you knew all the things and you're great at the things. One more exhale. And then go ahead and lift yourself up and bring your feet in and together. Good. I'm going to speed it up a little bit more. Speeding it up a little, might get a little intense. You can slow things down, you don't have to match my pace. I'm the only one getting recorded here. So we're gonna move just to get moving. And don't worry about making these necessarily your deepest, most intense lunges. Just make sure that you're keeping kind of an eye on how your feet are and that you're trying to keep that alignment of the knee facing forward. Okay? So take an inhale, go ahead and reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold down. You're going to take your hands down. Go ahead and step your left leg as far back as you can. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Ooh, there we go. I'm pulling too. And then exhale, take your hands down. Step your left foot forward. Step the right foot back. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, take your hands forward. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, hands at your heart for a little break. And then inhale, reach your arms all the way back up. Exhale, hands down, step your right leg back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, this is the fast one. You're gonna step the right foot forward, step the left foot back. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, coming forward. And if you don't wanna go all the way to the floor, you can kind of come down into a little chair pose. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, chair pose or all the way to the ground. And step your left foot back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Switch, left foot forward, right foot back. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hands down, both feet forward. Find your feet. Inhale, standing all the way up. And exhale, hands at your heart. And we're gonna keep going. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down or to a chair. Right leg steps back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, come forward with the right leg. Step the left leg back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come forward with the left leg. I'm just showing an option to a squat or to a fold. And then inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands at your heart. We're gonna go one more time through both sides without the hands at the heart in between. You take whatever breaks you need. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. Step the left foot back. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, come forward, switch the feet. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, come forward again. So it could be here or to the floor. Inhale, stand all the way up. Then you're gonna go all the way back down, back to that folder, back to that chair. Step the right foot back. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, come forward, switch. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, come forward, both feet forward. Inhale, stand all the way up. And then hands down at your heart. And then move the arms down by your sides, palms facing forward. It's like, I don't know, 25 degrees Celsius or like high 70s here. I'm on the second floor. It's very humid. So I don't know if that was really hot and sweaty, but it was an experience in here. Try to bring your feet in a little bit closer together. Take your hands, make Vira Mudra steeple fingers, and then reach them up into kind of your overhead luggage compartment. Lift up a little bit taller. Side bend up and over towards your right side. Try to push into both of your feet evenly and lift up the fronts of your hips. See how that feels. And then change that into more pressure goes down into your left foot. Holy shoo, wow. One more exhale. Then up and over to the other side. So try both of your feet at first. You can even try pressing more into your left foot. And then maybe press more into the right foot. Oh my gosh. One more exhale. And lift it up. Relax your arms down. You're going to separate your feet. Give them a good little bit wider than your hips. Just a little extra space. Take your hands behind your back. If you don't like that, hands at your hips is going to be your option. You're just going to pull your elbows back. Let's take the shoulders back. Lift the chest up and forward. Bend the knees. Take the body forward. You can rest the belly on your thighs. You can let those arms fly up above your head or just keep them here. All up to you. One more exhale. And relax your arms. Gently bring yourself back up to standing. And then you're going to leave your right foot up at the front of your mat. Step your left foot back. Lower your left knee down. And with that back knee down, leave your left hand down. Take your right arm up into the air. And then you're going to let the foot roll over so that the big toe edge kind of lifts up and the pinky toe edge is where it is. The knee kind of falls over a little bit. Then put the whole foot back down. Push into that front foot. Soften your belly. Maybe that top shoulder opens up a little bit more. Then take both of your hands down. You're going to pull your hips back so they're above your back knee. Wiggle your foot forward. kind of relax your foot and relax your spine. Just let the hamstring stretch happen. Which is different than, I don't know, you take this hamstring stretch. It's letting it happen, letting it change, letting it adapt, because hamstring stretches continue to evolve. The sensation keeps on a coming. One more exhale. Then pull the right leg back, take your left foot, bring it forward. If it doesn't go as far forward from this way as it went from when you stepped back, just bring it forward. You're gonna leave the right hand down, take the left arm up. Start with the whole foot planted on that left side, and then let it roll so it's more on the pinky toe edge, so a little rotated out, the big toe edge might lift up. Push into the foot again, whole foot plants down. Maybe you can twist a little bit more, lift your inner thighs, soften your belly. One more exhale. Then float your left hand down. You're gonna kind of shift your hips back. Let that left leg lengthen. And then let your spine soften, let your toes relax forward. Let your breath soften. One more exhale. Start to bring that left leg back. Go ahead and take a seat. Let your legs come out in front of you. Let's go feet together and knees out wide, holding onto your ankles. You can tuck these in as much as feels good to you, or let them be further away if that's feeling better to you. And lift up that space behind your ears. Spine lengthening. Kind of hanging out and breathing for a moment, but a little action in lifting the heart and the crown of the head. One more exhale. And soften that a bit. Send your right leg out to your right side. Gonna lift your toes, slide your right hand down, and then open your left arm up. So keep your chest open like that, and then take the arm up and over your nose. If you're able to relax that left hip down and away from the arm, increasing the side stretch, great. One more exhale. And then lift up. Keep those toes lifted. Try to come forward in between your legs and relax the toes and see if that feels any different. Honestly, I think I feel it a little bit more when I'm going directly towards the leg, but I'm not thinking directly towards the leg today. One more exhale. And pull yourself back in. And switch your legs so you've got right leg folded in, left leg just out. Go with the toes, a little bit more length in the spine. Open your right arm out and then send it up and over your nose, but keeping the chest lifted. One more breath. And then coming up, leave the toes lifted as you kind of crawl yourself kind of on the in-between of your legs here. And then relax the foot, toes, see what's different or if you even notice it. One more breath out. And start to lift yourself up. You're going to take both of your legs out, let your hands come behind you, lift your heart up, your toes lift up. And then change as the toes point out. Lift the toes, and point the toes, and lift the toes, and point the toes, and check and go out. You can stay here lifted, you can walk yourself forward, you can lay yourself all the way down. And gently explore what are those two options of the toes being either up or not so up, and where does it feel like you get the best stretch for you? Because like I was saying, like the whole reason we did all these different variations of movement and speed and strength and softness is that we all need different things, and we need different things at different times. Not even like, just in the face of like, what's going on here? Sometimes it's just like, you need something different in the face of the normalcy of life. One more exhale. Then start to feel yourself out of your fold. We're going to take a pigeon. So just pick a leg, doesn't matter. We're just going to pigeon on each side. Try not to be really dogmatic about which side to do. Just make sure that your thigh faces up. If you'd rather do a swan, like I'm more in swan here where I'm on my hip right now, and you can go onto your back, any of those things. You're going to come out and support yourself however you need. Grab blankets and blocks and couch cushions or whatever. Those things are good to help you support your hips. Try to practice softly. I find to be difficult to do in difficult places. First teacher said, I think we've practiced breathing in difficult spaces on the mats, that we're better at breathing in difficult spaces off the mat, because I think we need it there even more. For just a couple more breaths. Just start to feel yourself off of the floor. I kind of like to just sit over on one hip and then swing my legs around, but make sure that you don't find yourself with your foot underneath you. You've got your knee out to the side. Your hips are up unless you're choosing to do swan instead of pigeon. Just be intentional about that. So going forward over your shin in either space. You can lay on your back for this one if you didn't have the other one. Coming to your breath. Allowing the opening and the change that gravity is going to bring you. Gravity's going to do a lot more for you than forcing it ever could. It's just plain stronger. exhale. Go ahead and lift yourself up off of your legs. You're going to come out, and then you're going to lean back onto your elbows. So you just let your legs kind of plant or extend. It's kind of up to you, and then your elbows are underneath your shoulders. My hands are forward so the dog can lay on them. And then you're going to push down into your elbows and lift your shoulders. You might need to adjust your pelvis a little so your tailbone can point down at the floor in this place. That might feel a little better too. If at any point you would feel better letting your head rest back than trying to keep it on your spine, please do that. Gently try that out because you know you might like it more than I do. So take an inhale, feel your chest lifting up, and then on your exhale, you're going to let the chest soften. So you're going to kind of come in and out of the intensity of this fish pose heart opener. So your inhale is like, woo, and your exhale is like, ah. Just keep going. You might notice it gets a little more intense. Be able to kind of burst through a little bit more. One more breath. And soften it. Go ahead and lower all the way down onto your back. Let your head rest. Leave your knees bent on the floor. You can kind of roll your head a little bit side to side. That probably was a lot for your neck. So come in and like massage it a little bit. Kind of a hard one. Put in there. And then after doing all of those fish pose heart openers, we're going to do a bridge pose as a heart opener. We're going to do 3 of them. Try to hold for about 5 breaths, which I'm bad at counting because I'm talking, but wiggle your arm bones underneath. Tails are up nice and close to your hips, back hip width. Lift those hips up. Arm bone wiggle again. Hold hands, hold hips, hold the floor, hold something. Feel the front side of your body opening up. Trying to balance the weight between the feet and between the in and outside of the feet. One more breath in. Relax your shoulders, lowering your hips down. And we're going to go right back up in it. So just a little bit of a break. Lift it up. You want to really feel that heart opening up into the front of your ribs. Try to soften your jaw. Use the big toe mounds of your feet, not just the pinky toe edges. Reach those knees out and away from you. Ooh, one more breath in. And then gently lower it down. And then remember that you can always say no thank you. We're going to do one more round, about 5 breaths. Let's go on back up. Oh yeah, this is where the stuff really starts to open. Really feeling those hips up higher, your booty's a little sore, your thighs are a little sore. No. Breathing through it. One more breath in. Then relax your shoulders, lower your hips down. Whoa-wee. Take a moment before bringing your knees into your chest. Oh yeah. Oh, wiggle it out. Rock it out. Try it out if you need to. One of my favorite Mary Oliver quotes reminds from one of her poems, the one about the geese. She says, I tell you this to break your heart, not that it might shatter, but that it may never close again to the rest of the world. I love that line. It gives me a lot of hope. Be able to surrender and be open to all of our experiences. Overwhelmingly, they're going to be pretty badass. And I want to be there for that. And set your feet back down. Let your knees open up. We'll bound angle, and if you want to use your hands to catch your thighs so it's not too much pressure, you can do that. But even, you know, if you've got something underneath your legs, or you use your fingers, or you slide something underneath it, try to let those legs relax open. close your legs in. Take your arms open, take both of your knees over to one side, just relax into a twist. The opposite arm, let it soften. Maybe you take a moment to wiggle that arm bone out, trying to relax the collarbone. Excuse me, one more exhale. And then sending your legs over to the other side. You might have to adjust somewhere around your hips and your ribs to find that space that's a little more supportive and balanced to your body. One more exhale. Come back to the center. Bring your knees back into your chest, but this time out a little bit wider. Your feet up, holding your feet or your ankles, your knees, whatever feels good to you. Letting those hips open up. Letting the hips be heavy. One more exhale. Relaxing your feet. Letting them drop down, bringing them a little bit wider than your hips. Reach your arms back, lift the toes, send both knees over towards the right, so you're stretching out through your left thigh. Maybe you take your right hand and you kind of hold on to your left arm and extend it upwards, a little bit of extra traction to that space. One more exhale. And then letting the legs come up. If you need to wiggle to find neutral again, do that. Lift the toes, send the knees over towards the other side. Let that top thigh open up, the one that's floating out in the air, and hold onto your right arm. Give it a little bit of gentle pull, extension, opening. One more exhale. And then lift your knees back up, let them knock against each other. Take your arms down by your sides. If you've got space around you where you can put your legs up the wall or up on the couch or the bed or something, I would highly recommend that for your Shavasana. Just spending a little time inverted, even if you need to go up there for a little while and then kind of come back down afterwards. You can take a seated meditation, a lap down, as basic as it comes here, whatever you like. There's something about an inversion, well, I know what it is. It's as I scooch myself over here, so I'm just bringing my bum up against the wall and kind of sliding my legs up alongside what it is that gets you. And the inversion is your body is used to trying to find that like normal, everyday kind of space. So, you having your head above your feet is what it's used to. And as soon as you vary from that, your body's like, well, this is not normal. We need to be normal. So it comes right to that moment. Your brain is like, oh, we need to be here right now because something's off. And then once you bring it to here, Once you catch it, it's a little easier to keep it. It also is not thoroughly convinced that you are okay, so it's gonna stick around for a while, the brain. Your thoughts, the feelings, the mind, all of the things that in fact we're not those things. We experience them, and they are temporary, and they are tools for getting to know intimately what we really are that lies deeper. Rest very well.
Coming back to your body. Breathing more deeply, tuning yourself in to what is right now. Bringing your knees a little closer into your chest gently, whether it's coming down from the wall or the couch or up into your chest from the floor. Just take care as you roll over to one side, and then take a moment of gratitude for making it into your practice, for taking this time to be present with yourself. And when you're ready, coming up into your own comfy seat. Find that space, bringing your hands to your heart, letting your heart continue to grow and lift. We'll seal our practice releasing an Om together. Deep breath in. Bowing down to honor the love, the light, and the darkness that resides within each of our hearts. Namaste.